If there was a project that you could do as a family that would improve your health both physically, emotionally, and possibly even financially, teach your children important principles such as work, responsibility, and help them feel a connection with God's creations and your family, help you build food storage and your family's ability to be self-reliant, would you feel it worth your while? Gardens have so many benefits that planting gardens is well worth the effort. Eating from your own garden has multiple health benefits. Gardening is great exercise for the whole family. Even children who in past generations were very active are becoming obese. 1/3 of the children in the United States is overweight or obese, according to the Health and Human Services 2008 Physical Activity Guidelines for America. According to an article published by the Mayo Clinic, one of the best strategies to reduce childhood obesity is to change the eating and exercise habits of the entire family. Where past generations were physically active by necessity, we have to plan exercise into our lives. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, those who choose gardening as their moderate intensity exercise are more likely to exercise 40 to 50 minutes longer than those who choose biking or walking. If we only planted gardens to get in shape, it would be worth the effort, but there are many other benefits. Vegetables grown in a garden have significantly more vitamins and nutrients than those we get from the store. This is because we can leave them on the vine until they are ripe. On the Food and Nutrition Science website, we are told that the length of time fruits and vegetables can stay on the vine, in the ground, or on a tree contribute to both nutrient content and flavor. The longer vegetables are able to ripen naturally on the vine, the higher their nutrient content and usually the richer the taste. Kids and adults that grow their own food are more likely to eat vegetables because they have invested of themselves, their time and effort, and because they taste better. Gardening is a great time for families to work together and to teach children that work can be enjoyable and is a necessary part of life. In a report published by the State of Michigan Extension Service, we learned that gardening can reduce stress and improve mental clarity and feeling of reward. In a study published by the Journal of Health Psychology, 30 allotment gardeners performed a stressful stoop task and were then randomly assigned 30 minutes of outdoor gardening or indoor reading. Gardening and reading both led to the decreases in cortisol, but decreases were more significant and stronger in the gardening group. Positive mood was fully restored after gardening, but further deteriorated during reading. These findings provide the first evidence that gardening can promote relief from acute stress. Other studies have shown that eating vegetables can significantly lower stress levels. In a study conducted at the University of Sydney in Australia, scientists found that people who ate 3 to 4 servings of vegetables a day had a 12% lower risk of stress than those who only ate 1 or less. When you have tasty fruits and vegetables from your own garden, you're much more likely to eat an abundance of them. Gardening is beneficial in lowering stress, which improves overall health and improves mental processing and disposition. There is just something about green growing things that feeds our soul. Ezra Taft Benson explained one of the first principles revealed to Father Adam when he was in the garden, driven out of the Garden of Eden. In the sweat of thy face thou shalt eat bread, till thou shalt return to the ground. All that we obtain in life of a material nature comes as a product of labor and the providence of God. Work alone produces life necessities. More than ever before, we need to learn and apply the principles of economic self-reliance. Today, I want to emphasize a most basic principle: home production and storage. Elder Benson continued, no more time at council, I feel, has been given by President Kimball than his repeated emphasis to grow a garden. This counsel was given almost 40 years ago, but is still timely and applicable now. Our children live in a time when self-reliance is not valued by the masses as it was in generations past. The Lord expects us to take care of our own and provide for our own needs to the degree that we are able. It can be difficult to teach children to work when society often rewards them for not producing. They need to feel the emotional rewards of learning to provide for themselves. Those living in homes with very little yard or no yard may think that gardening is not a possibility for them. I was impressed with a lady from Albany, New York, that our daughter taught when she was on her mission. Diane Clancy lived in an apartment with very little yard. Up and down steps and in window boxes, she had pots and planter boxes anywhere the sun shone. One of our other daughters lived in a condominium when they were first married, and she also had no yard. They had one flower box in front of a window, and they planted some tomatoes in that. They grew enough tomatoes to bottle some salsa and had fresh tomatoes for months. Elder Benson continued his talk. Many of you have listened and have done as President Kimball counseled, and you have been blessed for it. Others have rationalized that they have no time or space. May I suggest you do what others have done? Get together with others and seek permission to use a vacant lot or rent a plot of ground and grow your gardens. Some elders' quorums have done this as a quorum, and all who have participated have reaped the benefits of a vegetable and fruit harvest and the blessings of cooperation and family involvement. The benefits of gardens are many. My father grew up in a home where their garden sustained life. My grandfather lost 3 fingers on his right hand. After this, earning a living was very difficult. Their garden helped them to survive. I would like to challenge all of us to plant some kind of a garden, whether it is big enough to reap the benefits of physical exercise and be able to build up our food storage, or whether we just have one or two with some tomatoes and possibly some herbs. We can all benefit from watching the miracle of growing things, and our children can learn responsibility and the joy of growing their own food.